Happy Wednesday, everybody. Dr. Glidden here. The day before Halloween. Boo. October 30th, 2013. Welcome aboard to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Fire Your MD Now. If you weren't here yesterday for the live show, listen to the podcast. I had Dr. Wallach on at the top of the second hour for about 40 minutes in total. You want to listen to what Dr. Wallach has to say because his perspective, just listening to the tenor and the timbre of his voice, his experience ekes through the microphone and it resonates in the parts of your brain, the parts of your frontal cortex, the parts of your temporal lobe. I don't know what part of your brain it is. It resonates with the part of your brain where you know what's real and what's not. Just listening to Dr. Wallach recite the alphabet is enough to make your head pop into reality, the reality of medical care as it's delivered here in the United States, or should I say of medicine and how it's delivered in the United States, through the agency of Big Pharma, delivering disease management, leading cause of death, therapeutics, leading cause of bankruptcy, therapeutics, and leaving us all in the lurch. This Friday, God willing, this Friday, November 1st at 3 p.m. Central Time, this Friday, November 1st at 3 p.m. Central Time, we're happy to have Brad Stewart, the owner of Go Now Foods, it was just acquired by Longevity, is going to be with us speaking about what's happening from his side of the coin, from his perspective, telling us a little bit about the type of food that he makes and the quality control that they have in helping to expose the Longevity listening audience to what he is all about. That's this Friday. Brad Stewart at the top of the hour, 3 o'clock Central Time. Now, we need perspective, right? We don't have any. Democrats know that Republicans exist. Republicans know that Democrats exist, and Republicans understand the ideology of Democrats, and Democrats understand the ideology of Republicans. They don't agree, but they know where the other person is coming from. Born-again Christians know about Mormons, know where they're coming from. Mormons know about Roman Catholics and where they're coming from, and Muslims know about Jews and where they're coming from, and so forth and so on. Members of different religions around the world are aware of the presence of the members of different religious sects and are, even though they might not be 100% aware of the philosophy of Judaism or 100% aware of the philosophy of Mormonism or 100% aware of the philosophy of Roman Catholicism, at least they have a smattering of understanding about what's going on there and a little bit of understanding of, well, these guys believe this and these people believe this and so forth and so on. And, a lot of different patches make up the quilt of life, except in medicine. In medicine, in medical science, in the free world, the only thing that anybody in popular culture knows about is MD-directed medicine. They believe that MDs equal medicine. And, whoever co-opted the name medical doctor was a genius, was a marketing genius. I don't know who was responsible for that, but they're a marketing genius. In a perfect world, in a just world, in a fair world, MDs would not be allowed to call themselves medical doctors because they're not. They're allopathic medical doctors. There are naturopathic medical doctors, chiropractic medical doctors, homeopathic medical doctors, Ayurvedic medical doctors, traditional Chinese medicine medical doctors, and so forth and so on. But the cultural conditioning is so great, so overarching, and so perfect that people equate MDs with the entire field of medicine, which is like thinking that the only people that practice politics are Republicans. And, those Democrats, they practice alternative politics. They're not really real politicians. Those Tea Party people, they don't really practice real politics. They're just, alternative politicians. Those Jews, they don't really practice real religion. They're just alternative religion people. Oh, those Roman Catholics, they don't really practice religion. They're just alternative religion people. See, we don't think like that about anything else other than medicine. But when it comes to medicine, we actually believe that the MD equals medicine. And they do not. And this is the biggest mistake that we make, and it's across-the-board mistake. And, I mean, even the MDs believe it. Just pulled an article off of Medline. A physician named Dr. Wen in Washington, D.C. wants her colleagues to beat the government to the punch and voluntarily tell patients about their conflicts of interests, or ideally the lack of them, to foster a relationship of trust. The campaign started earlier this month when Leanna Wen, MD, an emergency medicine physician at George Washington University, began introducing herself to patients like this. Hi, I'm Dr. Wen. I'm your doctor. I belong to an initiative called Who's My Doctor that aims for transparency in medicine. I accept no money from drug companies or device companies. I do not make any more from ordering more tests or procedures on you, and I also don't make more for ordering less. I'm telling you this so that you can be sure everything that I do for you is in your best interest. Dr. Wen blogged about her Total Transparency Manifesto for the Huffington Post, reporting that a handful of physicians already have pledged to make this conflict of interest disclosure. Conflict of interest disclosure. Well, in a perfect world, I think this is a great thing. But in a perfect world, she would have taken it one step further and said, by the way, I'm an allopathic physician. I'm trained to believe that the human body does not know how to fix itself, that the human body has no built-in God-given ability to fix itself, that there is, in fact, the existence of the soul is a fiction that does not exist. And it is my job not to cure your disease. It is my job to deliver into your system man-made synthetic drugs, the intention of which is to orchestrate a hostile takeover of the metabolism of your body and control things from now on. My goal is to control the metabolism of your body, to outthink nature, to outsmart nature with man-made drugs. My medicine is also the leading cause of death in the United States and the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. And if you suffer from any side effects from my treatment, you will not be able to sue me on legal grounds unless I'm completely negligent or show up to work drunk. And even then, it's very, very difficult. This would be full disclosure, but it is not. It never happens. Because MDs themselves have drunk the Kool-Aid. They actually believe that their way is the only way, that it's their way or the highway, and that everybody else really is, in fact, the back-of-the-bus quack with alternative, dangerous, substandard training. Alternative, dangerous, substandard training. Oh, we're not on par with the MDs. Certainly not. And this is the biggest problem that we suffer from. Because we know about different political philosophies. We know about different religious philosophies. For goodness sakes, you even know about different business philosophies. You know about different pizza-making philosophies, for goodness sake. But when it comes to medicine, we have all swallowed the pill, the blue pill, that keeps us in the matrix, keeps us in the false belief that MDs practice medicine, and they do not. That MDs own the medical theater, and they do not. That MDs are the kings and the emperors and the monarchs of medicine, and they are not. We do not question what the MD does, because we believe that they're the only possible solution. And if they can't figure it out, we're all screwed, so we just got to keep throwing money at these guys. It's all over the evening news now. Quite frankly, it's all over the news all the time now, all this Obamacare stuff. They're having debates about it. Oh, Obamacare. Oh, we need to give more Americans access to medicine. We need to give more Americans, make it mandatory for more Americans to have health insurance. That's what we need to do. We need to make it mandatory for more Americans to have access to MD-directed medical therapeutics, which are the leading cause of death, the leading cause of bankruptcy, and under whose tutelage and guidance Alzheimer's has skyrocketed, autism has skyrocketed, arthritis has skyrocketed, congestive heart failure has skyrocketed, infertility has skyrocketed, life expectancies have flatlined. Yeah, we need to give more money to those guys. Nobody even considers the possibility that the medical system needs to be abandoned. Nobody even considers the possibility that the reason healthcare is so unbelievably expensive and so unbelievably ineffective is because we've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. We've given it all to the MDs all the time. We've given it all to the pharmaceutical industry all the time. And, you know, inertia being what it is, the world lumbers along at a slow snail's pace. People's minds are slow to turn. So Dr. Wallach finds the cause and the cure for cystic fibrosis, and because his understanding of the pathogenesis of the disease is outside of the bounds of conventional thinking, they fire him and blackball the research. Watson, James Watson of Watson and Crick, the guy that discovered the structure of human DNA. They actually stole it from Linus Pauling, but that's another story. James Watson, 6 months ago, comes out and says, all of this work for genetics, all of this research on genetics is nonsense. We need to be focusing on the chemistry of the body, not the genetic background. James Watson, the guy that discovered the structure of human DNA, the double helix, comes out and says this, and the media paints him as a kook. Inertia, psychological inertia, is killing us slowly. Well, not us. Members of Longevity Nation are living large. Members of Longevity Nation are recovering their health. Members of Longevity Nation are walking through the world with optimal health, sleeping through the night, digesting their food appropriately, have healthy sex drives well into their 80s. You want to be in that club? It's a mouse click away. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around. Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. October 30th, 2013, 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. That's the number to call to speak to me live. And if you're listening to the podcast and would like info, 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Let's go to Canada and talk to Sandra. Hey, Sandra. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden.
Hello.
And you are live. Thanks for calling, Sandra. What's up?
Hi, I'm just calling about my mother. She is 87. She's 5'4", about 150 pounds. She goes to dialysis 3 times a week. She's new to dialysis, just a year. Her blood pressure is very, very high. She's not diabetic. She's just got very high blood pressure. And yesterday, after the treatment, usually it goes down, but yesterday it didn't. It was a 180/94. I did take her to a naturopathic doctor who had put her on magnesium, and we did a count, drew the blood, and the magnesium went high, so she wanted me to take her down because my mom was screaming out due to all the medication the doctors had put her on when she was in the hospital and screwed her totally up. But since I took her to the naturopathic doctor, she's got her on stress B, vitamin D, and her nerve system has somewhat calmed down. Now, it's not a question if I'm going to put her on Dr. Wallach's products. It's just I'm scared that once I put her on, how do I know when being a dialysis patient, how am I going to know the results of when it's going to start helping?
Well, that's easy. I mean, that's easy. They determine the amount of dialysis necessary and the length of dialysis necessary and the time intervals between treatments based upon the blood values of the patient every time that they go in. So it's just like checking somebody's blood sugar levels, right? I mean, if you're diabetic, type 1 diabetic, or even if it's advanced type 2 diabetes, the doctor tells you, they give you the little blood sugar monitor and you got to prick your finger 3 times a day and adjust the amount of insulin that you inject based upon your sugar levels, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it's the same with dialysis. So it's very, very easy. You don't need to do anything. I mean, all that you need to do is counsel your mother on the supplements to take, how much to take, when to take them, and what to eat and what not to eat, right? You just have to be the ringleader at home and then just get out of the way. And every time she goes back to dialysis, they will adjust the treatment appropriately. And if we get lucky, she'll be able to stop dialysis completely within a number of months because the blood values will completely normalize.
Well, I noticed that since she started the magnesium or the product that naturopathic doctor put her on out here, she's starting to pass fluid again. Before she was crystallizing down there already. Now she's three times a day, 4 times she's going to the bathroom.
Yeah, so, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. And there's a couple things to take note of here, however, and you bring up an interesting point, and even though you might not know that you did. There's a trend in naturopathic medicine. I've seen it. I'm horrified by it. I honestly don't know what to do about it. Naturopathic doctors, starting about 10 years ago, the naturopathic colleges around the world started to be influenced by the pharmaceutical industry and by cancer treatment centers in North America. And the curriculum of the naturopathic medical schools is listing towards fractionated nutrition. It's getting away from holistic nutrition. Now, just to give somebody massive doses of magnesium, it's not a good idea. I mean, it's better than no magnesium. Just to give somebody large doses of vitamin D like David, all by itself, is not a good idea. Just to give somebody large doses of vitamin C like Linus Pauling used to do, it's not a good idea. It's not, it's not going to hurt the person. Well, not immediately. But it's fractionated nutrition, and what's better, especially you would hope coming from a naturopath, would be a more holistic, comprehensive nutritional strategy. And medical nutrition works 1,000 times better when it's delivered holistically. When you give the body everything that it needs, right? And in the case of high blood pressure, a little extra calcium and magnesium. When you give the body everything that it needs, and in the case of kidney disease, more antioxidants and more selenium. So, but this is a testament to 2 things. Number one, even incorrectly prescribed fractionated nutrition produces results. Imagine what comprehensive holistic medical nutrition will do. Just imagine. You stick around with me, Sandra. I'm going to dial this in for you when we come back from the break. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Today is Wednesday, October 30th, 2013. Stick around. The best is yet to come. Brad Stewart with Go Foods, my guest this Friday in the first hour. And, it's not going to be your normal interview. I don't do normal interviews on this show. It's not going to be, I'm not going to let people get away with just giving me the standard party line. We listen for the ring of truth when we interview people. We listen for the ring of truth. And, we need to get the bearings here. We need to get the measure of the man. You heard the measure of the man yesterday with Dr. Wallach. Well, you're going to hear the measure of the man whether you want to or not, God willing, this Friday. Check it out in the first hour. Very, very excited to have Brad Stewart on in the first hour. The originator, founder, president, owner, Maximus of Go Foods with us this Friday in the first hour. Check it out. Talking to Sandra from Canada now about her mother. Sandra, are you still with me?
Yes.
All right, very good. So, it's one of life's greatest ironies that it is the minority of licensed naturopathic physicians who actually practice holistic medicine. It's myself and, maybe I'm going to say about 200 of my colleagues, maybe, practice good, new-fashioned, holistic medical nutrition. I don't know what the newbies are doing, quite frankly, and it frustrates the heck out of me. But we don't need to worry about them anymore because you found your way here. But the good news is that if fractionated nutrition, just large doses of magnesium and some B vitamins are produced a noticeable, measurable result, well, fasten your seatbelt, because when we dial it up a notch with holistic medical nutrition, woohoo, man, the sky is the limit, right? So how much your mom weigh?
She weighs 150, around the 150. Their dry weight when she goes into dialysis here in Canada, of course, kgs, is 60.5. They try to get her down. But what's been going on lately is that they're taking too much fluid off of her. She's coming home with blurred vision. Her blood pressure isn't going down. Things are happening that, that she just feels exhausted. Dialysis she just doesn't look forward to because it takes everything out of her.
Well, literally, as well as figuratively, right, it is taking everything out of her. That is the intention of dialysis. Dialysis is intended to take over what the kidney does, and what the kidney does is clean the blood. The kidney cleans the blood and generates urine, and urine is the stuff that the kidney removed from the blood, the crap that the kidney removed from the blood. Well, when the kidney goes south, doesn't work anymore, instead of giving the body, giving the kidney nutrition and holistic support so that the kidney can hopefully fix itself, the medical doctor just plugs you into a dialysis machine and lets the dialysis machine take everything out. But in the dialysis machine, there aren't the millions of positive and negative feedback mechanisms that happen in the kidney all of the time. Mm-hmm. So the dialysis machine just sucks everything out. Mm-hmm. Without regards to anything. The only person manipulating how quickly the dialysis machine works or what the dialysis machine is taking out is the technician. And it's a one-time switch. You know, they dial in the dialysis treatment at the beginning, they flip the on switch and leave the room, and, you know, the rest happens automatically. There's no feedback the way that there is in the human body. So often, if the technician isn't on their game, or quite frankly, even if the technician is on their game, there's no way on God's green earth you can ever, with a man-made device like this, even come close to the minutiae of minuscule variations that need to happen here when you're actually trying to filter somebody's blood the way that nature does it. So, you know, I mean, is the cure worse than the disease? Without dialysis in this case, you know, notwithstanding any other therapies, your mom would be dead. So at least they've been able to keep her alive, but we need to see if we can take it one step further, and thank God for Dr. Wallach. Because Dr. Wallach, after doing, you know, tens of thousands of autopsies, looking at tens of thousands of messed up kidneys, came to the conclusion that the majority of the time, the kidney itself is fine. The problem with the kidney is the blood flow in and to the kidney has been jammed up. It's like a drain that's got a big clog in it. The drain is fine. The drain doesn't have any holes in it. The sewer pipe at the end of the drain is fine. There's no holes in that. The only problem is there's a big clog in the drain, and that's what we need to get out. So our understanding of the pathology of kidney disease most of the time is that it's caused by oxidative damage, long-term oxidative damage. Same thing that makes wine turn to vinegar, same thing that makes an apple go rotten, same thing that makes milk turn sour, same thing that makes iron turn to rust, is causing the kidneys to become jammed up. So your mother, you, me, the man in the moon, everybody in the world needs to stop eating the 10 bad foods. If you do not clean your mother's diet up, this will not work. Because we can't be supporting the system on one hand, but eating food that's gumming it up on the other. You know, that's like 2 steps forward, 2 steps backwards. You're never, ever going to get anywhere.
Right.
So your mom needs to stop eating all 10 of the bad foods immediately, with extra special emphasis on oil and fried food. I don't even want her to be downwind of fried food, all right? Zero tolerance for any of the bad foods. Not even fried rice, man. If it's got fried in the title, I want you to run away from it screaming, you know, to attract some attention to what you're doing so that someone will say, hey, what's the matter? Oh, my God, it's fried food. Get away from here. Get away. Right? So eliminate the 10 bad foods. That's the first most important step. Number 2, at about 135 pounds U.S., my recommendation for 90 days would be 1 anti-aging healthy start pack. 1 anti-aging healthy start pack. 3 bottles of selenium. 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules. 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules. 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals. Actually, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals. and 1 extra bottle of Beyond Osteo FX. Now, there's going to be 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX in the Anti-Aging Healthy Pack, but I want you to give her an extra one because she needs it. Plus, now you can either give her the plant-derived minerals or the cherry mints, which has either one floats your boat, the plant-derived minerals or the cherry mints. And the cherry mints is just the plant-derived minerals with a little cherry flavor added, so it doesn't taste that bad. That's what I want her to do for 90 days, 90 days. Do not tell her attending physician what you're doing.
Not at all.
All right, good, because they'll read the labels and give you all the wrong advice. And you want to look to see. You need to be Johnny on the spot, and it sounds like you are, Sandra. It sounds like you're doing a really excellent job. No kidding.
Thank you. I am her cook, so what you said, no fried foods. I guess I would be the the one.
Yeah. Now there's a little misunderstanding at that. You can still cook things in a fry pan as long as you use butter or lard if it's nitrate free, right?
Right.
And that's perfectly fine. You can use a fry pan as long as it's butter or lard cooked under low heat. And if the butter starts to smoke, then it's turned into a trans fat, and that ain't no good, so you got to throw it out and start over.
All right.
But that's the only caveat there. But you need to be aware, or continue to be aware, because it sounds to me like you already are there with her blood pressure, right? Because once this program kicks in, it's entirely possible that the blood pressure could normalize within. I mean, I've seen blood pressure of 30 years duration normalize in 7 days.
Good.
I've also seen it take 7 months.
Right.
Right? Well, I don't know. But everybody's body is different, and everybody's body has different levels of damage, and everybody's body has different metabolic rates, and everybody heals faster or slower or whatever. So you just need to be mindful while you're moving forward. And don't disregard the obvious that this is not a kidney treatment. This is not a blood pressure treatment. This is a holistic nutritional support program for your mother as a living, breathing, complicated, complex human being. So one of the best ways to judge the effectiveness of the program is just to look to see how she feels.
Okay.
Right? How's her sleep? How's her mood? How's her energy? How does she feel after dialysis? How does she feel before dialysis? What's going on? Because as this kicks in, there should be noticeable subjective change, right?
Okay.
Better color, better energy, better bowel movements, better mentation. Just everything should brighten up.
Okay.
And as long as we see that, then we're just kind of on the edge of our seats waiting for the inevitable, waiting for the kidneys to come back as much as they're able. But 90 days should be enough of a time frame in this case to judge this therapeutic up or down. So look to see dramatic, remarkable, measurable change within 90 days. And for goodness sake, Sandra, call me back with an update because I'm interested.
Thank you very, very much. You take care.
All right, Sandra, my pleasure. Thank you. From Canada to Southern California, because that's how we roll. Talking to Javier today, not about his golf swing, but about lupus.
Oh, that's funny. Hello, Doc.
What's going on, Javier? You got a funky signal there, buddy. Hold the phone a little closer to your mouth, maybe.
I have it right next to my mouth.
All right. Well, I guess that's as good as it's going to get. How can I help you today, Javier?
How are you?
Good, thanks. We're up against the clock here, Javier. 3 minutes left. How can I help?
I have a lady that has several problems. She's got lupus, osteoporosis, sleeping problems, and apparently she's got also menopause symptoms. And I thought it might be a problem with her hormonal balance. And, I don't know if I'm right, but I just thought it might be that.
Well, yeah, there's two things to think about when women are experiencing hot flushes and mood swings and whatever due to menopause. Remember, menopause is not a disease. It's a time of life. And so it's a relatively easy thing to help women have a kind of a smooth and steady transition instead of just a horrible transition into the menopausal years. I mean, I've known women, I had patients who've had menopausal symptoms for 10 years.
35 years old.
Oh, well, she's only 35 years old. Well, the game is afoot here. Something's going on. All right, all right. So now the osteoporosis and the sleep problem. are probably two arms of the same octopus. And from our point of view, lupus is caused by chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is caused by consistent consumption of all the wrong food and not enough. The fire department in the body is out of water, and it can't do its job. Now, the water of the fire department of your body is selenium. So we need to load this person's body up with the 90 essential nutrients plus extra selenium and antioxidants into the bargain with a little extra thyroid support. So the recommendation here for the first 90 days would be the anti-aging healthy start pack and selenium appropriate for body weight. The anti-aging healthy start pack and selenium appropriate for body weight. 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 extra bottle of either the Cal Toddy or the Beyond Osteo FX a month. And 4 boxes of Triple Treat chocolate a month. That's a bitter pill to swallow. If she can't afford 4, have her do 3. If she can't afford 3, have her do 2. Plus, she must eliminate the 10 bad foods. And Javier, check out the webinar that I did on lupus. It's a really good one. It's in the archives. You're an insider. Check it out. Send her the link and let the healing begin. Dr. Peter Glidden, folks. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you the day before Halloween 2013. Let's go to the United Kingdom and talk to Sharon. Close out the first hour. Hey, Sharon, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello, Doc.
What's going on, Sharon? How's it going?
Oh, it's going very well in the UK, very well.
Well, good. How can I help?
Oh, certainly. I have a friend of mine, and she's having all these symptoms, such as migraine, headache, dizziness, memory loss, low blood pressure, eczema, sleepless nights, disorientation, and disturb of sleeping. Yeah, so I was having a talk with her to find out how we can help her.
Well, it's a relatively easy thing to do, but I mean, don't you? How old is she?
Oh, Doc, she's 26.
Yeah, she's 26 years old, and look at all the crap that's gone wrong with her.
Yes.
Right? While she's been under conventional medical care. I mean, it's horrible, isn't it? I mean, it's just horrible, and this is the tip of the iceberg. I got to tell you, this is happening everywhere all of the time, and we let the MDs convince us that it's our fault. It can't be the medical doctor's fault. It can't be their philosophical orientation. Oh, no, MD-directed medicine, that's the best medicine in the world. It's the only medicine in the world. It's really the only real medicine in the world, and it's just the greatest thing ever. Well, no, it's not. It's really good for surgery, but for chronic health conditions, it's horrible. And you got to be kidding. It can't be the doctor's fault, though, and she must have the multiple illness gene. That's what she's got. She's got bad genes. Not the doctor's fault. It's her grandparents' fault. That's whose fault it is. It's nonsense, right? So give me the list again of the complaints that she's bothered by.
Yeah, and she went to have a scan done. They told her also that she has a cyst on her brain.
Oh, great. A pituitary adenoma, is that right?
It won't be affecting her, so it's nothing for her to be worried about.
Oh, that's good. She's got a cyst on her brain, but don't worry about that. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
As usual until it gets further.
Yeah, well, all right. So what else? She's got a cyst on her brain, but let's not worry about that.
Yeah.
What else does she have?
For the past month, she was having chronic constipation, and she's not going like every other day. As a matter of fact, once every week she goes to eliminate. Yep.
So she's got constipation, she's got a cyst on the brain, she's got migraine headaches, right?
Yeah, she has earache as well.
So what was that last one?
She said that her ear usually hurt her at times.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. I think it's your accent. What is it? Run that by me once more, Sharon.
Yeah, she has migraine, dizziness.
Yep.
Memory loss.
Yeah.
Also, low blood pressure.
Yeah.
Eczema.
Okay.
Sleepless night. And sometimes she suffers with disorientation as well.
Yeah, I would too. Okay, what's her body weight? Do you know?
She's 130. 130 pounds.
All right, excellent. I'm going to have to run through this list quick because we're up against the top of the hour. So, for 90 days, here's the recommendation: to support and promote the structure and function of her body, and she wants to look to see for specific and measurable noticeable change within 90 days, if not sooner.
Mm-hmm.
She needs 1 healthy brain and heart pack. 1 healthy brain and heart pack. 3 bottles of selenium. 3 bottles of selenium. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals or cherry mints. 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals or cherry mints. 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX liquid calcium. 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX liquid calcium. And last but not least, Cell Shield RTQ. 1 bottle of Cell Shield RTQ. Now, she must eliminate wheat, barley, rye, and oats and the other 10 bad foods, and just by eliminating those foods from her diet, the constipation should go away. Have her eat 1 apple a day. 1 apple a day, and however much water she's drinking now, have her double that amount for the full 90 days. More water, 1 apple, eliminate wheat, barley, rye, and oats, the other 6 bad foods, take these nutritional supplements, and let's see what happens. Hour 2 coming up, folks. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around.